monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call. This call is from a corrections facility and is monitoring, and the location of your phone will be obtained. Stay on the line to accept this call. Thank you for using GTL.
I don't consent to recording of my call except my friend Rudy. How are you?
Hey, brother. I'm doing great. We just got back from the 25th anniversary of the Waco massacre where the government murdered innocent children, women, and men. And I've been on the road all day. Sorry I missed your calls, but I just got a phone call from Sue about 10 minutes before you called, and she was asking if you got some of the material that I mailed or Mr. True mailed, and I told her I hadn't confirmed it with you yet, but we got a house full of people, and I kind of been missing some phone calls, but it's not to say that we don't love you, and you know, we're definitely, you're in our prayers. I think Sue's going to trial on Monday.
Yep, all of that is correct. I did get your envelope, and I did get some information from Mr. True. For some reason, the printout that he got was where they were printing front and back, but the backs were like a blank page with lines, and instead of them just printing the pages that had actual writing on it front and back, they printed the blank line pages on the back, so he ended up sending, you know, more pages than what ought to have been sent. But
okay, so he probably had to pay a little bit more, but at least you got what you think you should.
I got it.
You know what?
I got it.
Oh, hold on. You know what I think, Mike? I think it was delivered to me like that. I know what you're talking about. A lot of the pages were blank on the back, but that's the way the prison faxed it. That was the way it was delivered to me, so it's not his fault or his printer's fault. It came from the prison, from Sue, like that.
Right. And I did get your letter that had, I think it was a 10-page letter to. Now, the question I would have regarding those is, were they actually received by the ICJ?
I don't know. You're talking about. All I know is Sue sent me three. Sue sent me 3 documents, and I mailed them to you. But I don't know who else has received them.
One was an affidavit, and the other was basically a petition to the ICJ. They were both addressed to the ICJ, and it said on the back that they had been mailed and faxed. And I'm just curious if they actually made it there.
Let me ask you this:
verification that they were.
Is the ICJ the same thing as The Hague?
It's a division of the World Court.
She did have me fax one of those documents, and I don't remember one off the top of my head. It could have been the 23-page fax, but one of them she instructed me to fax to a fax number at The Hague, and I did do that, and I have proof that I did it.
Okay, well, it was there then. Okay, great, it got it then. And also, do you know what happened today in 1775?
We have the American Revolution, the shot heard around the world.
This is the day that a group of Baptist preachers got together and got their fellow men to stand up when the British regulars came to take the guns. They said, "We'll be damned, and let's take it out here on the lawn." Well, they call that the Green, which was in Concord, Massachusetts, or Lexington, as it was referred to, but in that area. That's where it all started. The Baptist preachers stand up and said, "Ain't happening here. Take it elsewhere." And that was the beginning of the Revolutionary War, yeah. And, of course, the federal building in Oklahoma that the government blew up as the FBI stood across the street watching. There was not a single FBI agent in the office there when it blew up, or blew outward, I should say.
I'm sorry, Mike, but you mentioned the FBI. There was not a single agent that got affected by the Oklahoma City bombing because they were standing across the street. I made a short video, and I was standing outside the new Waco church, where they built a new church on top of that compound, and I called for the eradication of the FBI within the United States of America, and that if you currently work for the FBI, you should quit, and the rest of you should lose your jobs and be held accountable for all the murderous, treasonous people that you are.
Right now, the FBI and the Department of Justice are rogue operations. They're They're hostile to the people, and they're hostile to the Constitution. They've committed treason. They're imposters. They're corporate entities posing as government. They are not constitutional entities. They need to be eradicated, and they need to humbly apologize for the crimes that they've committed. We will give them amnesty and allow them to find better jobs and where they're not destroying we the people. We want them to be part of us. That's the whole thing. Come join us, the free people of America, not your Nazi overlord-driven international. I mean, all the things that these people are doing are all European model.
Yeah,
they have nothing to do with America. And that's one thing that I heard. I've been talking to people around here, and I actually, when I hear myself echoing back in, like Alex Jones, when he, recites some of the stuff of the letters that I sent you, and I know it's verbiage that I put out. It's unique to only me.
Yeah.
Today I heard that on a radio talk show host when a caller called in and basically quoted something that I told one of the COs here about. I see so many people here that are not Americans. They have the mind of the European. They're operating off a European model. They think like a European. They don't think like an American. Why is that?
Yeah. I'm totally.
This guy echoed that same sentiment, and which I don't mind. I mean, because I'm seeing all these people that are talking about enslaving their fellow man. It's all about being in control of other men. Well, that's a European model. That's not American.
Amen. Amen.
Mr. Hovine, Pastor Hovine.
Yep.
I understand. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's looking for a wife. It seems that his selection in women. Yep.
Did he have any luck with? I talked to somebody recently who said they thought that he had sued or was going to sue to try to get compensated. And has he gotten his original structuring charge overturned, or is he still working on that?
He's still working on that. There's a website called KentHovindisinnnocent.com, and there's a friend of mine named Brady Byram put together, I forget the exact number, but it's over 10, I think. 10 different videos that go through why he is innocent, 100% innocent, and he's still working on overturning his structuring charges. Yeah.
All right. I need to ask a favor. There's somebody that needs to send something to you via email, but they don't have an email account. They can get on the internet, but they're new to the internet, and they do not have an email account, and they do not want to create one. They just want to send you some information via email so that you can get it fairly quickly.
How are they going to do that? You know what? There's got to be some sort of
website where they can drop. Is there a website where they can go to and send you a message and do an attachment like a PDF?
Yeah, give me just a second. There's tons of anonymous email websites where they, let me just find one real quick. I'll log into my phone, and if you go to Google and type in send anonymous email, there's tons of websites that offer that capability. But I just don't know any off the top of my head. But I'm gonna get one right now.
Well, they're not going to go to a lot of trouble. This is an older person that does not use the computer.
Okay.
Literally doesn't want to use the computer, but is willing to send you some information. But would prefer if there's a website that they can go to.
Here's one. I hope they can at least get here. I understand about older people and computers. I got some older friends that if you can get them to double click, you've accomplished a major accomplishment. But nothing against those persons. They're just not used to using computers. I understand what you're talking about. There's a website called sendanonymousemail.net where they can log in. They put my email address and the receiver's name, RUDDAVIS@yahoo.com, and then they just paste the email in, and it'll come right to me, and I will have no idea where it came from, other than it just,
All right, spell it out.
Okay.
SEND.
Yes, send anonymous, ANONY, anonymous, and then MOUS. Send anonymous email.
All right, let me go slower. ANONYOUS.
No, ANONY.
OMY?
Yeah, it's anonymous. So let me start over. Okay, so it's N as in Nancy, both times. ANONYMOUS. So there is an M as in Mary after the Y.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking you were saying M, like anonymous.
No, anonymous. Yeah.
Anonymous?
Yep, send anonymous email.net.
Okay. All right. I will see if I can get that sent to them. It's kind of in a roundabout way that I got the message to me, and I'm trying to get the message back out to them, how to get it to you. But you're at ruddavis@yahoo.com.
Yep, and I've got a second site that may be a little bit easier for them if they have any problems with the first site. It's a lot shorter.
What is it?
It's the number 5, the letter Y as in yellow, 5Y mail.com.
Okay.
And either one of those sites, they can send anonymous email. They just put in my email address and send whatever they want to send, and it'll come to me.
Okay. This guy that's the intended for the State Department, Secretary of State Pompeo, the senator out of Kentucky, Rand Paul, does not trust him, does not like him because he is a war hawk. And that tells me if Rand Paul is on the committee to select and approve the Secretary for the State Department, then Rand Paul has contacts in the State Department. Rand Paul has a little bit of power with the State Department. This information of me and Mrs. Parsons would be well sent to him, given the fact that all I need and all she needs is a recommendation or recognition by the State Department to show the court that, in fact, I am an ambassador of a foreign country. I do have the recognition of the U.S. State Department as such, and therefore this country has no jurisdiction over me via their courts.
Excuse me.
And that would also release Mrs. Parsons immediately.
You're thinking Rand Paul might have something to be able to do to help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rand Paul is a Christian. He is a follower of Christ, and though he and his father have different views on certain things, at his core, he's an American. He just doesn't have the knowledge or his father's, drive regarding the Federal Reserve. I mean, basically, Ron Paul was strictly anti-Federal Reserve, and for the most part, of course, you remember when somebody was trying to get his assistance and getting, attention to his case, Mr. Brown, and of course, Ed and Elaine Brown got no support whatsoever from Ron Paul simply because they were accused of being hostile or whatever, and that, turned him off, which, the thing is that you can be accused of anything. Is there any victims in their case other than them? No. Did they hurt anybody? No. So, that's the thing with former Congressman Paul doing that. I view it as a cop-out. But then again, he's done that.
You have 60 seconds.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you 2 quick questions? Can I ask you 2?
Sure.
The 3 documents, the 23-page fax, the 136-page fax, and the other document, did you get all 3? You've got all 3, right?
I asked him to print it for you.
I got the 100-something page document, and I got the 10-page document. I'll have to check and see if there was a third one. I don't know if it was actually a document or if there was attachments.
Okay, you should have had a 23-page affidavit from Sue Holland. I want to make sure you got everything we sent. The other thing is, I heard today that there's a guy in The Hague with the International World Court or something called Judge or Dr. Hendo Henderson. Does that ring any bell at all?
No.
Okay, he's supposedly with The Hague, and they claim they could help get political prisoners out of prison. I'm going to check into it and see if it's real or if it's just a bunch of people talking, but I'll let you know. There's a website called sovcpr.com.
You have 1 minute
They're going to cut him off.
remaining.
They're going to cut him off.
It was on the news today that there was a guy.
Thank you for using GTL.
Why did they cut him off?
They always say there's 60 seconds and then they cut him off.
It's 15.
Prepaid debit call.
I'll say what I can do.
To me for just a minute. I've been moved to Omaha.
I'll give him an option.
An inmate at the Douglas County Jail.
It's a very long
To
intro
accept
too.
this call, press 0. To
I'm gonna
refuse
fill up
this
with food while
call,
that's
hang
cooking.
up,
Will you
or
do this?
press
Just take
1.
it with you. I don't
To
want to
prevent
You can't
calls
push the
from the
button?
facility,
I'll
press
say hi unless I
9.
get in trouble.
Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, say hi.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from
It's me for just a minute. I've been moved to Omaha.
He's on the same page exactly.
an inmate at the
that's
Douglas
not
County
natural
Jail.
rights, free man on
To
the
accept
land.
this call, press 0. To refuse this call,
Well-
hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from
0?
this facility, press 9.
I forget. I wasn't paying attention.
This
I know,
call is
it's
from
all
a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your phone will be obtained. For more information about our privacy policy, please visit www.connectnetwork.com. After the beep, press 5 to accept this call.
Oh, press 5.
This call is from a corrections facility
Again?
and is subject to monitoring, recording, and the location of your
The
phone
location
will
of
be
my
obtained.
phone is going to be obtained.
Stay on the line to accept this
They're going
call.
to come track me down.
Thank you for using GTL. You have 60 seconds remaining.
Sorry about that. I don't consent to recording on the call. Today there was a guy that supposedly being released today from San Quentin after serving 20-some-odd years on death row, and they finally discovered that the information used to convict him was false.
Hey, there's lots of innocent men in prison, Mike. No doubt about it. Do you remember the guy's name?
Say again?
Do you remember the guy's name?
No, they just had a blurb on the news, and I couldn't
Okay.
get the information quick enough. But yeah, we have to work from all angles. Freedom is freedom at any point, and I think the people out there know that. This is a battle that we have to stand up and fight. Otherwise, if you're going to be free and outspoken and try to encourage people to be free, then you're a target. And until we take...
Thank you for using GTL.
Can you put the muzzle on the dog, please? It's been barking for an hour.
Did they cut him off again?
Yeah, they cut him off again. The dog's barking?